search for James R. Hoffa is streaming now on Fox Nation, and we break the story of Gabe Bergoglio. He is the last living FBI Jimmy Hoffa suspect. Did you kill Jimmy Hoffa?
No way in a million years.
Were you part of the squad, the mob guys who killed Jimmy Hoffa?
No way in a million years. They never asked me anything about where I was. Never, not even once.
Wait. That's the most important thing.
That's right.
They never asked you where you were?
Nope.
When Jimmy Hoffa disappeared?
Nope. Never did.
Is he telling the truth? And what did happen to Jimmy Hoffa? Scott Bernstein joins us now from Detroit. He is one of the top Hoffa case experts in the country. His website, take a look at it, Gangster Report. It covers all things mafia. There it is. And you can listen to his podcast, Original Gangsters, and he's been covering this case. Scott, welcome. Good to see you. We just heard the words of Gabe Bergoglio. Do you think that Gabe Bergoglio killed Jimmy Hoffa?
No, I do not believe Gabe Bergoglio killed Jimmy Hoffa.
Why is that?
I believe this was from top to bottom a Detroit Mafia homicide, conspiracy, disposal. I think the New Jersey Genovese crime family where the Tony Pro guys were, which was the Bergoglio brothers and the Andretta brothers. I believe that if there was any role played in that conspiracy, it was incredibly minor. And if Gabe Bergoglio has any knowledge, it would be, I don't think it would be substantive.
Yeah, he denies all that. And what's so interesting about all this is this has, as we've covered it, continued to cement what's called the East Coast narrative, that this was all Tony Provenzano, Anthony Tony Provenzano, capo in the Genovese crime family. We've seen that in the movies. We saw that in The Irishman. Why has that?
Please subscribe. We'll bring you more.
For so long, for so many decades. And what do you
the
think
last living suspect of Jimmy Hoffa.
Well, there's nothing that can be done about it. I mean, there's an East Coast bias when you're writing about any level of organized crime.
We're a variety channel. We bring you music, jokes,
general consensus
soon coming radio and podcasts.
Just regular civilians.
But you can't see it unless you subscribe.
If it's happening in the mob, it's happening in New York. And a city like Detroit is almost treated like, it's a city in Montana, not Michigan.
So, I mean, what does that mean? Part of our special.
This means that it's easy for people like yourself and your network and other reporters and media outlets in New York to dismiss or marginalize Detroit, when in fact, when it comes to La Cosa Nostra, when it comes to the mafia, when it comes to Jimmy Hoffa, there was nobody bigger and more influential and more powerful and more adept at pulling off gangland slayings than the Detroit Mafia. They were the Cadillac of organized crime families. They were in the Ivy League.
So in your sense, how did this play out? How did this whole thing break down in terms of Detroit?
Well, Hoffa was kidnapped from a Bloomfield Township, a restaurant parking lot on the afternoon of July 30th, 1975, probably around between 2:45 and 3 o'clock. I believe he was driven in a car that was occupied by Vito Billy Jack Giacalone, who was a capo in the Detroit mob, and Tony Palazzolo, who was a soldier at that time. And I believe they drove him to a house that was connected to members of organized crime that was probably about a 2, 3, 4 minute drive from the Red Fox restaurant where they were supposed to meet. And I believe he was shortly thereafter murdered, either before he got to the house or once he came into the house. His body was then disposed of, most likely at Central Sanitation, which was a mobbed up sanitation company, about a 25-minute drive. And I think by probably 4 o'clock that afternoon, there was no more Jimmy Hoffa. I mean, like literally, there was no more body. And we've been running around for 48 years looking for something that doesn't exist. And the mythology feeds on itself.
Do you think someone will finally talk? You mentioned Billy Jack, Vito Giacalone, who was a member of the Detroit crime family. I talked to his son, as you know. You just reported on
Again,
that.
please subscribe.
Yeah. Do I think that, well, Vito's dead. He's been dead for 11 years. His brother, Tony Jack, who was, in my opinion, the tip of the spear.
The saga continues with Jimmy Hoffa.
All the details. He died back in 2000.
Will we ever know the truth? Well, I know you won't unless you subscribe.
If you ask the FBI right now, Jackie is the boss of what's left of the Detroit organized crime group. He was 25 years old when this happened, and I don't believe he really had it.
Thank you for
He
watching.
had any involvement. So you could ask him.
Hit that subscribe button.
And he said he didn't know anything.
And thanks to the new subscribers.
I tend to believe him.
More to come. I upload at least once a week.
So you believe basically that Jackie Jackalone doesn't really know anything, and certainly
he might have some quality secondhand information, but in terms of firsthand information that's not that's not.
God bless YouTubers. I'll see you next time. Hit that subscribe.
I don't believe that he has any valuable information to give to the investigation.
And finally, why is this? I'm sorry, Ryan?
I said I think anything he has would be circumstantial.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be any first-hand information.
Do you think that someone will say something to finally put the end to this, to provide solace for the Hoffa family and for the country?
I mean, I hope the FBI comes out at some point in the next couple of years, maybe at the 50-year anniversary mark, and just closes it down and says, this is what we believe happened. We're 99.9% sure.
So all it is a big cover-up.
I know that they have a blueprint of what happened, and they're 99% sure that's exactly what happened. Come out with it publicly, name Billy Giacalone and Tony Palazzolo as the guys that killed him, and just kind of let it go. As Jackie Giacalone said said to you guys, you guys have obviously hit a dead end, and I think he echoes the sentiments of a lot of members of organized crime that were scrutinized over this, as well as the public, and frankly, as well as reporters like myself. I don't know what more we can really get out of this. I mean, you can't get blood out of a stone.
Let's hope the FBI does that 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
July
good luck with
30th,
that. The woke FBI.
Scott Bernstein of the Gangster Report and the...
God bless. Please subscribe. See you guys next time.
And Scott's in our special, by the way, of course.